Imagine this. Tomorrow morning, you wake up and the internet is gone. No WhatsApp, no YouTube, no Google. You try to open your bank app, it doesn't load. You go outside, you try to pay with your card, it doesn't work. You go to an ATM, it says service unavailable. Your money is still there, but you can't use it. Now here's the strange part. In that same situation, Bitcoin still works, even without the internet. And that's the part nobody explains. Let me tell you a simple story, but before that, hi, I'm Sebastian, your buddy, your mentor, and your guide to smarter financial decisions. Call me whatever you like, but I'm here for one simple purpose: to help you understand money better and make choices that can shape your future. Because the decisions you make today can define where you stand tomorrow. Now, let's get into the story. There are two people. Let's call them Chad and Matthew. Both of them have money. Chad keeps all his money in a bank. Matthew keeps some of his money in Bitcoin. One day, something unexpected happens. The network goes down. Chad opens his app. Nothing. He tries again. Still nothing. He goes to the ATM. Out of service. He calls the bank. No response. Now Chad is confused. He has money, but he can't touch it. On the other side, Matthew is sitting calmly. He takes out a small device, not a phone, just a simple crypto receiver, and he checks something. Bitcoin is still running. Chad looks at him and says, "How is that possible?" And that's where the story begins. You see, most people think Bitcoin is like money, but it's not. Bitcoin is actually information, a message, a tiny piece of data, like a text message. And here's the important part. If you can send that message, you can send Bitcoin. That's it. That's the secret. Now, let's go back to Matthew. He wasn't using the internet. He was using something else. A satellite in space. There are satellites orbiting Earth right now, sending Bitcoin data down to anyone who wants it. Think of it like a giant storybook floating in the sky. Every time something happens in Bitcoin, a new page is written. And the satellite reads that page and sends it everywhere. Even if the internet stops, the story keeps going. And anyone with a small dish can read it. That means Matthew can still check. Did someone send him money? Does his Bitcoin still exist? Is everything working? Without internet. Now imagine how powerful that is. Everything else stops working, but this one system keeps going. Now here's where it gets even crazier. Let's say Matthew wants to send money, but there's no internet. What does he do? Simple. He sends a message. Because remember, Bitcoin is just a message. He creates that message on his device. Then he passes it to another device nearby. That device passes it to another and another. Like passing a note in a classroom. Eventually, one of those devices connects to the internet. And boom. The message reaches the Bitcoin network. The money is sent. So even without internet everywhere, Bitcoin still works. It only needs one connection somewhere. That's called the last mile. And that changes everything. Now let me show you something different. Imagine you draw a picture. A very special picture. And you're scared someone might copy it. So you want proof that you made it first. What do? You take a fingerprint of your drawing, not your real fingerprint, a digital one. Then you store that fingerprint inside Bitcoin. Now, years later, someone says, "This is my drawing." You smile because you can prove you had it first. Not with words, not with trust, but with math. Bitcoin becomes like a time machine. It proves something existed at a certain moment, and no one can change that. Now imagine this. You have a treasure box, but instead of one key, it has 3 keys. And the box only opens if at least 2 keys are used. That means no single person can open it alone. Bitcoin can do that. You can create money. That follows rules like this. You can say, this money can only be used if 2 people agree. Or, this money cannot be touched until 5 years later. It's like putting your money in a time-locked box, and even you cannot break the rules. No bank needed. The system itself enforces it. Now let's go back to Matthew again. Chad asks him, "What if someone hacks your money?" Matthew smiles. He says, "My secret never touches the internet." Here's what he means. He creates a payment on one computer, then he moves it to another computer. But this second computer has never been connected to the internet, ever. He signs the transaction there, then sends it back. His secret key never goes online. That means hackers can't reach it. It's like keeping your treasure in a room with no doors. Now, here's something surprising. You don't even need a smartphone. In some places, people use simple phones, the kind with buttons. No apps, no internet, just dial codes. Like when you check your balance, and even with that, they can send Bitcoin. That means Bitcoin is not just for tech people. It can work for anyone, anywhere, even without modern devices. Now imagine something else. There's a place where gas is being wasted, burned into the air. No one is using it. Now someone comes in and builds a machine. This machine turns that gas into electricity, and that electricity creates Bitcoin. So something useless becomes something valuable. This is still being debated. Some people support it, some don't, but it shows something important. Bitcoin can turn energy into money anywhere. Now let's talk about something simple. Ownership. Think about your social media account. Do you own it? Not really. It can be removed, blocked, deleted. Now think about your money in a bank. Do you fully control it? Not really. It can be frozen, delayed, restricted. Now think about Bitcoin. If you have the key, you have the money. No one can log you out. No one can stop you. That is real ownership. But all of this is still not the main point. Satellites, radios, offline devices, these are just tools. The real question is, why does Bitcoin work like this? The answer is simple. Bitcoin is not controlled by one place, not one company, not one country, not one server. It exists everywhere. Thousands of computers all over the world checking everything. No one is in charge. Everyone verifies. That's why it cannot be stopped. You can shut down an app, a website, a bank, but you cannot shut down something that exists everywhere. So when people say Bitcoin is just digital money, they're missing the real story. The real power of Bitcoin is not price. It's not profit. It's not charts. The real power is this: a system that keeps working when everything else stops. A system that doesn't ask for permission. A system where you can prove truth, create rules, control access, and truly own something. And maybe you'll never need this. Maybe everything will always work. Maybe the systems will never fail. But the real power of Bitcoin is not what it does. On a normal day, it's what it can do on the worst day. And that's the part nobody explains.